So the HTML tables allow web authors to arrange data like text or words, images, links, or other tables, etc. into rows and columns of cells, as we are going to be seeing. So the HTML tables are created using the table tag, which in which the TR is a tag used to create table rows, because we know a table has rows and columns. So we use TR, or for short form for table row, to create the table rows, and then TD for the columns, or maybe to create the data cells. And so the elements under TD, or table cells, or I can call them table columns, are regular and left aligned by default. So let's look at an example here. Everyone, I hope for those, you can open your text editors. If you have PyCharm, open PyCharm. If you have Notepad, you can open Notepad, and we try out this example to draw a table on our web page. So let me also open PyCharm here. I'm just going to continue with the project that I created yesterday. So you don't need to create a new project. Just use, just open PyCharm. It will open the project that you recently opened. And then since mine is a PyCharm project, so I'll just click on PyCharm projects, and then it will start loading the file. So let me share my screen. Sorry, I thought I was sharing. Now this is the project that we did yesterday. And let me see. If I can share the whole screen to show you what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we were using attributes to align our text either to the center or in the middle. We aligned pictures, as you can see. We aligned the words. We aligned this in the title at the center. Then we align this text to the left and this one to the right and the picture to the left. So today we want to try out, just come to PyCharm projects here, then right click. And I'm just going to start a new HTML document. So a new HTML file, and I'm going to call this tables. Then I press enter, and my HTML, if you're not using PyCharm, you have to put .html in order for it to be an HTML document. Now, after this, then what I have to do next is to, since the initial components or maybe sections have been created for me, the head, the body, and also this shows that this is an HTML document. What I do is I'm just going to put here my table name called maybe classroom register. This is going to be my title, classroom register. And the rest of the information we said we always have to create it under the table. So what I'm going to do is just ensure that, okay, let me just use PyCharm. And so we want now to create a table tag. So we say the table tag, we open it using, before we even, there's a table can have a border, and what you have to do, TR is for rows, then TD we said it's for table column or table cells. So what I do here inside body, I'll just start body. I'll start my table here. And before even closing, I have an attribute. We said tags, HTML tags can have attributes, and my first attribute here will be the border. Sorry. So it will be the table border. And the border, I can put it to be maybe, let me see, should it be 1 or 2? Let me try to have it to be 3. And Then I close. So the rest is going to be inside the table. So here I can start my first row, which is table row. And let me just annotate here to show you what a row is, what a table. All of you know what a table is. So just to illustrate, maybe, let me see if this can draw a table. If I have something like this, then I can draw my table. So rows are the ones which go like this. So let me change the color just to be a little bit organized. So a row is the one which goes like this. These are rows. If I have these lines going like this, they are rows. So when I say table row, I am meaning these lines which go like this on the screen. And columns go from down or from up to down like this. These are the columns, or these are the TDs, the table columns, or we shall just be calling them table cells. So to start our table row, we want to have one row, then we shall put inside the rows, we shall put the columns. So what I will do is I have this table row. I don't want to put it on any attribute for now, but after this, we shall have to put attributes even in our rows to change, for example, the color, or maybe the font style, or whatever information that your table can carry. You can, if you want it to change the appearance, then you will always have to use attributes. So the table, my first table row is this. Then inside the table row, I'll create, it's just like now I've drawn a row, but let me just first show you if I draw something like this. Let me just first have a row before we put the columns. So if I have something like this, and I just put this is age, then let me just copy this, and I have this, I just put school here. So this will make no sense because it has no column. So if I try to maybe open it in my browser, there's nothing which is going to happen. So what I have to do is to put inside the column, inside the row, I will put my column to make it now appear as if it's a table. So we say for the column, or to come up with the cell, we use TD. And then my first column maybe can have the, let me say, the age, like that. And then the second I can the first one can have name, sorry, the name of someone. So this is now a column. The first column will have the names of the students. Then the second column here can have their age. So another column here to have age. And now I create another one maybe to have their class. So this is another one for class. And I have another table, another column for maybe, can call this maybe teammates, or what should I put? I can put school. School doesn't make sense. So let's just have a ID. So let me create another table. This is maybe ID number, like that. So let's see if I try to now create, let me first share the entire screen here and I show you what happens. If I now click on, so now if I've created this and I click on the browser, it's going to bring out this, and you see the border. My border is 3 here. And this is the first column. This is the first row. It has only made one row because I made one row. And I made 4 columns, as you can see there. 4 columns on the browser or on the web page. So what we do now, if I want to create the second row, I'll just come. If you change this border, if you reduce the border to 1, you will be having something like this. If you increase it, so the more the border, the bolder the border. So if I have it as 8, and then I try out, it's going to be a little bit thicker like that. So now this is how, this is what the attribute here for border, this is what it can do for. So let me just make it 4 or 5 for now, because I don't want it to be so large. So I think that's enough. And now I want to create the second row to put now the information. But to put the information, but before even I put the information, what if I just make the name to be bold by using the bold, this bold character, this bold tag that we learned in the beginning. So I can just close this using B. Let me see what happens if I made it. So names is going to be bold. So the headings of the columns can be in bold. We shall show you how to make them automatically, but for now, we are not going to use an attribute. The heading, we are just going to make it manually using the bold tag. And we already used bold tag before. So I'll just make all these ones to be bold. Like that. Then this, I remove this, then it's outside the class, close this, bold. And then the last one also I make it to be bold. And then this is going to be closed. So when I now start over, my title, or maybe the headings of each column are bold. So the width of each cell, that's also an attribute which can change that, and we shall show you how to, if you get a chance to continue in the launch, you'll learn more details about that. And now the next thing you have to do is to come to the next line here, and then you start another row. So this is a table row here. And then you just do the same, now I have the first column inside that. Each row has to have cells, or it has to have columns. So I fill in these columns. So under name, the first name I can say, inside this TD, I can say this is called Farid Mwonge. And then Farid's age, I come to fill in the Farid's age here. And his age is going to be maybe 8 or 9. And then I come to the next column, and this TD here is going to be class. So he is maybe in senior 1. And then I go to the next column. This is now ID number. So TD, ID number, maybe he is, his ID number is MIS, maybe 512. And that's all. So when I try to run this, Farid's information is going to be, this row of Farid is going to be added here, as you can see. So I want you to try out and add so many students, up to 5 students, and then we shall proceed. Yeah. So let me have another student added here. So I still enter. Let me just space them such that you differentiate between where the column, this column is this is one row, this is another row, and then I'm going to start another row here. for another student. So I start another table row here. And I'm going to enter the second student, who is maybe Christian Sinje. And then I enter Christian's age, maybe is 4. And then I enter his class, TD, maybe he's in P1. And then I enter another, and the last one, which is his identification number. So this is table column, then maybe his identification is MIS 561. So when I try this out, the information for Christian Businje is going to come here. So this is how beautiful HTML can be, and this is how it's used. For now, the next lesson we are going to have today is to add colors, to change the colors. But for now, the default color is black, but I'm going to show you how you can modify the color, to improve on the color of the change the color of the background, change the color of the text. So let's let's now give it some time for you to try out this, as I'll also be now planning to. So you can try out, keep on trying out. I said you can have up to 5. I want you to have up to 5 rows. So those are 5 students. That makes it 6 rows, including the heading column. So it's just simple. You just have to open a table row. TR is for table row, as we saw in our PowerPoint, on our PowerPoint. And I explained how we use it. Right now, we are not using attributes into them. We are just using them in a basic way. And what I do here is to start another column, which is now, this one can be Trami, Trami and maybe the age, maybe the age is maybe 3. And then I start another one. Maybe she's in P1 as well. And then the last one is the ID. So you have to just put them in that order, which you want. It's the first row which determines what falls in the first column, what falls in the second column, what falls in the third, in the fourth, like that. You can have a table which has even up to 10 columns. But for me, I just decided to start with the one for 4, not to confuse you. So what happens if I don't put anything here? Let me show you. If I don't put anything here, this cell is going to be left empty. There's nothing which is there. What if I don't have even this line of code here? What would happen? There's no cell which is going to be created. So it's just going to be an empty space inside here. So let's wait. Let's give you some time to create your own register. So this is MIS, maybe 213. And now that should be it. Remember, the first thing to do is to open the body tag. The body can either, if you don't want to put the attribute of border, the table is still going to be drawn. As you can see, if I don't have the attribute of the border, it's not going to have borders. It's just going to be names which are in their own columns, but there are no lines which are separating the columns or the rows. And that's how important. That's why I introduced the attribute of border, because I wanted it to split my columns, and also my rows. So when I introduce here the attribute of border, sorry, the attribute of border here, then I just put equal signs, then the attribute, the content of the attribute has to be in quotes. And that's why I'm also always introducing the quotes here. Then I can put maybe 7 here to just show you the difference. Then now my border is going to come, and even these cells and also the columns are separated, and someone can see it as a table. Let me give you some time. Let's take up to 5 minutes. I'm giving everyone 5 minutes to come up with their own table. Sorry, so let me just share on the screen as I do something else. So you have up to 5 minutes, then we can resume.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
how do we do in Notepad?
In Notepad, you just do the same. Let me see. In Notepad, you also just start with the HTML doc by starting with the document type. This line here, it states or maybe tells the browser that this document type of this HTML document, is HTML. And the second line here just tells us that this is an HTML document, and this is how you start every HTML document using the HTML tag. This attribute is just to change the language. If your language is, if you want it to be in maybe France, you can just say FR, and it will be in French. Let me show you that. So if I start this, my document is going to be in French, and then it's going to be telling me to translate to French. If I made it to be maybe KS for Kiswahili, then, sorry, Kiswahili is Swahili. Let me see. Swahili is SW, sorry. So it's going to request me to translate from Swahili to English because the document type is Swahili. So yes, create in HTML, you're supposed to save as .html in Notepad. So let me just open my Notepad as well, and then I show you. So it's my Notepad. So when you're using a Mac, your Notepad is going to be text edit. So I'll open my text edit, and then I open a new document. So I'm just going to share the screen here for. So this is what I was saying. You also just start with for it when you're saving. Let me just get this code here because I don't want to waste time. make the same code again. So I'll just copy it and paste it here. And this is what I was talking about. You start by document type, and now when you're finished coding, you come to file and then you save. When you click save, you can call it maybe about.html. And then if you want it to be in downloads, just let it be in downloads. Then you click here where you see file format and choose webpage.html here. And then you say save, and it's going to be saved. So when you open it, it's going to run in you right click and open with one of your browsers. So you can now finish up. And yes, you can go ahead and you can go ahead.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, who is sharing? That's Christian. Okay.
Me. No, it's Preet.
Okay, Christian, you can first stop sharing your screen, then we shall get back to you after Preet. Okay, now you can.
Teacher.
All right.
But teacher, there's a problem. I never did the table.
You should put the table as well. Let me see your code. I'll give you some time to take a look at my code. And we said, let me go, you just go to your code and I see.
Teacher, I closed it.
All right, so just put the table and everything. Let's put the border. You need to put the attribute of border in when you're opening the tag for table. When you're opening the tag for table, you put the attribute, which we said you put border equals maybe to 4 or 5, whichever size that you choose. That can determine the size of your border. Let's get to Christian. Christian, please share your screen.
Yeah, okay, I'll share. Yeah, I can share, teacher. It's no problem. Change it.
Why are you making your table to have a border of a very, very big? It can be, okay, try photo and see. Can see Farid says HTML is quite easy. Yeah, like I told you, it's very easy and interesting, and it's very beautiful when you've learned a lot about HTML, when you can develop websites and you make some money when you're still young. So many people every day make websites, and they want people who know how to make websites. So if you practice, you can start making money very quickly. So Christian, I see, let me see in your body, table border equals to 4, then you haven't finished. Let me share my screen again and then you complete. Then you will ask, you'll ask later. But what you're doing is okay. You just need to create more columns. And let me share here's my pie chart. So this is my code. Let me give you guys only 3 minutes to complete this. And then we proceed. Make sure you understand, because at the end of this, we shall have another teamwork. We shall send you to rooms, and then you'll have to complete an assignment before leaving. So try to understand what I've done here. These are just simple rows, rows, and these are also rows.
If you're paid and you don't do that, will you go to our next class?
Pardon?
If you've paid and you fail the test, will you go to our next class?
No, you have to pass.
Okay.
Yes.
Teacher, will the next class be the one of when we're learning Python?
Will the what?
Will the next class be the one of when we learn Python?
No, Python is for launch stage, if you qualify for launch.
And what is the launch stage?
Launch stage is happening next month, in the beginning of next month, which is just 1 week or so ahead of us, or 2 weeks ahead.
Teacher, I'll rewatch all the recorded videos so that I don't forget, so that I can know exactly what.
So you have to practice, because you will have presentations next weekend. So you can start rewatching and practicing because your presentations will be next weekend. And those who will qualify for launch will go and study Python and more HTML. What we have learned here in HTML is just like 1%. There is a lot to learn about HTML in order for you to have so many. So when we complete our Ignite stage next week, you will be given some days to come up with your project.
Does this class end at what time?
It ends at 8:30.
8:30. You can watch the recorded meetings so that I know.
You first complete your project. I'm about to, the time is about to end. I'm going to now start teaching something else. First concentrate. Okay, now let's, because of time, we are going to proceed, and we shall come back to this later. When what we are going to learn is going to enable us to, if you have missed any concept here, let me first share my PowerPoint here, and then I show you what we're going to do next. Now, having learned how to come up with the simple columns and tables, or maybe columns and columns and rows, we now want to dive deeper into how to, let's just conclude something about the table headings, which we had already. Initially, the table heading, we used the bold, but that was manual. But if you want to do it automatically or in a more professional way, table heading can be identified using TH, meaning table heading tag. So this tag will be put to replace the TD, or maybe the table column, or maybe the table cell tag, which is used to represent actual data cell. So headings, which are defined in TH tag, are centered and bold by default. So let's try out that and we see. Let's try writing this document. So when I go back to my code here, let me just share my other screen here, and now let me share my pie chart. So we said, if you want, you can just not have, let me not have this TR here. And instead of having TD, you just have a TH like that, which, let me just start another line here, sorry. So if I start another line here, then I say, instead of that, I just have, so let this be, let me remove this. I remove this. Then I remove this board, and instead of names here, I'm going to put maybe Nachi Joba Gift age here. Maybe she's 8. And then under class, I'll just put senior 1. Then ID, I remove the bold and have her to be maybe MIS 360. So now here, I will, when I start this, my table here, the first column, they said that if you want it to be the heading, you use the table TH for table head, which means that this is the heading of the table. And then when you close, you just write, the first is going to be name. And then I go to the next line. Sorry, I have to make these ones to be inside the, sorry, they have to be inside the row. So you can't just have them outside the row. So I create another row here, which is table row. And inside the table row, I start TH, which is now table heading, the heading of the table, or each heading of each TH represents a column, and it's the heading of that column. It leads that column. So here I'll put the first as name. Instead of having again to put TD, then again put bold, which makes the line to be a little bit longer. But to make it short, this is what I would do. So under my TH here, I will have the next as age, and then the next one to be class, and then the third to be TH, then it is ID, so it can be, yes, ID. Let me just say ID as it was here. So when I try this, let me just try for you. share the whole screen. And then when I try to run this, it's going to be the heading. As you can see, I didn't put bold, but because it's the table heading, the name or maybe the content is going to be in the center, and it's going to be bold, as you can see here. So that's how easy you can use the table heading at the table heading tag here in place. You make it to replace the table, the TD for table, the table column. So the column, this column here, these columns which have TH will always be bold. The first, the contents of this TH will be bold and they will be centered. They represent the heading. So let me now run this, and this is what happens when you run it. So you can do that later because of time. And that was just a simple concept that I wanted to introduce. And now let us, so this is what the code does. So in your breakout, in your breakout session, I will expect you guys to make this, this table here. And after making this table, whoever will make the table have a different color. So before maybe I take you to the breakout sessions, let me teach you how to add colors and to have background color and to change the text color here. So let me share another PowerPoint here for you to very fast. We have limited time, but I'm going to teach this within the remaining time. Sorry. And everyone should understand. And I'm going to ensure that everyone understands. Farid says, this is fun. It's more fun. Is HTML more fun than Scratch? Because me, I find Scratch more fun than HTML. Just that Scratch is easy and also HTML is easy. I don't know which one is easier. Christian says HTML is more fun. Okay, that's your opinion. So let's look at colors here. Now, things which are always black are always boring. And just like we said when we were learning about image tags, things which are just ordinary are always boring, and your clients, people who visit your website, want it to be beautiful. If you want a website to be beautiful, it has to have nice pictures, it has to have nice colors. And now let me teach you how to change colors. So colors are very important to give a good look and feel for to your website. So you can specify colors on page level using the body tag, or you can set colors for individual tags using the background color attribute. So all this is about colors are also attributes of HTML tags, as you're going to see. So the body tag has the following attributes, which can be used to set different colors. For example, if you want to set the background color, you use BG color. And if you want to change the color of text on your web page, you use text to set a color for the body text. And if you want to set a color for active links or selected links, for example, if it's a link to your Scratch project, if it's a link to your YouTube channel, if it's a link to maybe your movies, if it's a link to another website, you can use A. A stands for link, and then a link will be the attribute you'll use to modify that color. The rest we shall learn them. We haven't yet come to links, but when we come to links, we shall show you how to use these attributes here. But for now, just concentrate on BG color, background color, and text color. These others will come when we have learned links on Monday. So there are these are some of the different methods to set colors in your web page. And the first is you can set color using color names. For example, red, green, or maybe blue, yellow, by just typing the words as is. This other way is to use the hexadecimal codes. These are 6-digit code representing the amount of red, green, and blue that makes up the color. And this is what we call the RGB. Those are the foundation, or maybe the major, or the background, or maybe I will say they are the kings of colors, which are 3. And so we are not going to concentrate on this last 2, the color decimal or percentage values for now. We shall learn them when we have started CSS. But for now, let's use color names. And this is what we are going to see in the next page. So we have 16 standard colors, which were set by which are used by most programmers. And we have, this color is black. If you this one is gray, this one is silver, this one is white, this one is yellow, this one is lime, and so on. So these are the different colors that you can use. And that is what you're going to try out tonight to try and modify your project. So let's try and see out the code. Let's try out this code. Now, we are going to try out to change to just, let's just do it together. Yes, Christian.
You're saying that it will do that for links.
I said first avoid links. We shall come to links when that time comes. When we have learned links, that's how we shall change the color of links. For now, let's just concentrate on text and also the background color. So now the first thing that we can do here is we want just to change inside the body. Let's try to come to body here. Our body, let me just increase the size here. Zoom out a little bit. So when I come to body, I give body an attribute of background color. So BG color here is, so I want my background color to be maybe pink. Let me try and see. Let me first share the whole screen. And we see what happens if I change the background color. Here, you see my color is going to change. If the whole background will be a different color, just using one attribute here, which I've indicated as background color. So what if I want to change the body text also to be maybe of color? I can say, let it be white. And when I start over to play this, my text is going to be white. So let me try to make the background black, then the text white. This is what we shall have. So HTML is simple. And I also agree with Farid. HTML is simple as the same way Scratch is simple. It's just about writing, about understanding what you're doing. And as you can see, here we have changed the background color inside the body tag. We just added an attribute. So let's try and modify. I just want you to try. If you want to maybe have the word, you just, for now, let's just have to change the color of the background and the color of your particular maybe the text on that web page. But if we said you can either change this through, let's try to see if we changed maybe the color of only this row here by saying maybe so this would not work. Let's see. So for that, it can't work. So this attribute, the way it's written, it's only written when you're having to change maybe the attribute of the body. So we are going to come to how to add attributes, maybe to change the color of individual segments of the website. So let's first try and finish this. And then as you're finishing that, let me just share my PowerPoint and then just conclude with the. So like you saw here, we used the body. We changed the body color through this attribute, which is text equals to blue, and then B background color equals to green for this one. And then we started our paragraph. Then we started the a table, and then for that table, we said the background color of the table should be maybe black, and then that's what happened. So when we come inside this this column here, TD, we said the font color. We start another tag, which is now font. Font is a tag, and then the color here we said let it be white. Then we start over with whatever we want to include inside that column. So let me try this and see what happens. Let me share my whole screen here. Now, in this case, if I come to this my th here, what I want to do is to have inside my th to have another tag, which is font. So inside here, if I have maybe if I have another tag which is font, then we change the color and then we write the word. So let me see. This is font. And then color, maybe brown. And what else can we change? Then we close that tag. This tag is closed. It's not self-closing, so you have to come here and close it from here. Font. Just want to see what happens. So this name here, we said it's let's let it be pink, and we see. Yes, it works out. Let it be red. Sorry, I was not sharing my whole screen. Sorry about that. So I was saying when I try out this is going to be red. And that's how you can change the color of each. If I wanted only to change the color of this, only the name here, I can change the color through this this tag, which is the font, which is inside the column tags, as you can see. So you can do the same here. I can have another one here, font, then space, then color of the font is maybe going to be red. Okay, let this be, let me just take a look at the colors which are available. We have line, so let it be line. And when I come here and close this. So then I come back to this one. And still I start another font. Space, color, equals to, let me see another color here. We have maroon. So I can use maroon. close this from here after class. And this is closed as font. Sorry, I didn't close. I didn't also to ID. My PC just blacked out, but I was saying when I try to run this, this is what is going to happen. These colors are different, as you can see. And I can have different colors for each cell here as well, using this attribute or maybe this tag for font inside the table cells or maybe the table columns, as we have seen. Now that brings us to the end of today's class. And now we are going to have an assignment. So maybe if I share. So this is what we've been doing here. So now to be invited for the class of Monday, your team has to pass, to come up with this assignment, which I'm going to share. So let me share the assignment. It's already here. Sorry, this should be it. Now I'm going to take you into breakout rooms, and you're going to be required to come up with this table within 5 minutes. And so I don't expect everyone to really come up with exactly this, but I've already showed you how to create the tables, how to change the color, how to change the background of the table alone, or of the cells alone. Now, what I want is just a table which has which is in yellow or any color as a background. Then I want the table to be like this. And so let me give you 1 minute to first observe how the table looks like. You can take screenshots if you can, or you can memorize how the table is. This is a timetable, and I want you to make a program which draws a timetable as a team. So you're going to be in teams of 2, and your role is going to be to come up with such a table. If these dashes also have to be included, it has to be just a table which has a border like this, as you're seeing. It has lunch, break. Just don't go beyond this. Maybe if you have time on your own is when I want you to draw a bigger one. But for now, just draw this simple. So let me start breakout session. I'm going to start a breakout rooms, and you're just going to be required to join your breakout room. So first look at if you're finished understanding the timetable, then you let me know. Let me also be creating the breakout rooms. And so I'm going to assign So let's go to our breakout rooms. You have it's now, let me see what's the time. So it's 20:30. So by 20:41, we should be back. So you can join your breakout room and go and start the work.
Wasie nelatia suro. Wasie inkurani dilema suro. Inkurani yorobe kera wasie. Impusoni yorobe kera wasie. Wasie nelatia unusuro. Wasia nyugo were dilema suro. Impusoni yorobe kera onuso. Impurani yorobe kera iko wasala. Anyekiseye wasitaye. Adawolo mama wasitaye. Achekiseye wasitaye. Abolo kalafana ye wasitaye. Iyale
Can just be talking about each segment, not a line, but each segment. For example, if it's this row, you can talk about the whole row, 1 or 2 rows, then you also summarize the whole code. You are still muted.
The first row here, I aligned it to the center. I aligned timetable to the center. Then this is my first row. I made them. This is my second row. I made it the headings. Then this is my third row. I made them. This is the fourth row, the fifth row, and this is the sixth row, seventh row, and the eighth row. And this is the eighth row.
That's
Where there was no text, I just left a space.
right. Try to run that in the browser and we see. And just click on the icon of the browser. Okay, that's brilliant. But I don't see your timetable aligned to the center as you said. But it's good that you really implemented it the way we wanted. So well done. Well done for that. But when you go back to your centering, that is a line equals to center timetable. Let me see. So you can align the whole row, maybe what the contents of the timetable. Let me see, align text. Okay, that's okay, but I shall see why it's not working in the next class. All right, let's get someone else who is ready to Farid. You can now share your screen. You're breaking. We are not hearing you. I don't know whether it's my network, but I just hear as if you're breaking.
So I did exactly make that project, but I'm sorry for that. But you're making an application, a company, and it includes their name, age, the goal, the time, their experience level, and their resting time. So let me open it in. Okay, what they so that's it.
Yeah, that's close. That's close to what we wanted, and that's really good. All right. So if there is no one else who did the work, then you can take this weekend to make a better website, including images, including the Mercure tool, the text, paragraphs, whatever we have learned since day one. And then we shall have a presentation on Monday. Your web page should include tables, not only one table, many tables, It should include, it can be 2 or 3 tables. It can include pictures. It should include paragraphs. It should include divisions. It should include pictures moving, text moving, and then we see, make sure it is beautiful, make sure it is, it can be accepted by the client. So we shall have, that will be an individual assignment. So we shall have presentations on Monday for those of you who will make it to Monday. Otherwise, I want to wish you a good night if there are no more questions.